insane outside right now. Super windy and snowy. Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing another car chat once again, as always. So I was going to run inside Home Goods and just ultimately get some errands get some errands ran, but unfortunately it is a blizzard outside, like a full-blown blizzard. I had work this morning and I just got done maybe like an hour or so ago, so I was like, I can get some chores done. It's not gonna snow that bad. It is like blowing like crazy, so I figured I'd do a little quick car chat. So at work today, I felt like a lot of my coworkers have been asking me, like, do you think it's gonna be a girl or do you think it's gonna be a boy? Mostly because our ultrasound is on Wednesday, and with that ultrasound, like, they can clearly, like, well, let's hope they can clearly see whether or not the baby's gonna be a girl or a boy. So with that being said, just always constantly getting those questions like, do you think it's gonna be a girl or do you think it's gonna be a boy? I don't know how to respond to that, because like I felt like for my daughters, I kind of had a preference, but kind of didn't, if that makes any sense. Like with Alessandra, I kind of wanted a girl, or like desired having a baby girl, because right before I had her, I was pregnant and I had lost the pregnancy 6 months in, and that baby was a girl as well. And I was thinking to myself, you know, the Lord taketh away, and you know, but he can always, you know, give you back, you know, things that you've lost or things that you've desired. And that's kind of my belief. So for me, I was just like praying that God would give me another opportunity to be a mother to a little girl, and he did. So then when it came down to Ariella, or being pregnant with Ariella, sorry, I was like picking at my nails today. My nails are a hot mess. When it came to being pregnant with Ariella, I wanted a girl, but then I would be okay if it was a boy. I would have loved if Ariella had a little sister. I mean, if Allie had a little sister for her to play with, and you know, to dress them up, you know, and keep little matching outfits, you know, like normal mom thoughts, right? So yeah, I don't want to say necessarily the second time around I also wanted a girl, but if I had one, I was gonna be stoked. And Ariella turned out to be a baby girl, and I was extremely excited. So when it comes to this pregnancy, when people are asking me that question, I'm just like, I really honestly do not have a preference. I feel like whether the baby is a girl or a boy, I'm just so thankful that the baby is just healthy alone, that I'm not really like thinking much about the gender. And plus, whether it's a girl or a boy, I still plan on keeping this kind of minimalistic feel to like the baby's nursery. And if it's a girl or a boy, I'm thinking like lots of cute grays and whites and more neutral colors, because that's something that I'm kind of into right now, if you haven't noticed. But yeah, so for me, it's so hard to like to answer that question. And then I know, like, for my fiance, he said that his sergeant was asking him like, hey, like, do you want a boy? Like, you know, what do you want? And he just said to sergeant like, just healthy. But I know deep down inside he thinks it may be a boy. Before we get our ultrasound on Wednesday, I'm gonna try to get a little clip of him and see like his thoughts about the gender before we get the ultrasound done. That way, once we do know the gender, we can go back and look at that video and see like who was right, who was wrong, you know. Mostly he thinks this baby's gonna be a boy because it's so different than when I was pregnant with my daughters. Like I said plenty of times, I didn't really have many symptoms, I wasn't really sick, I not craving sweets or anything of that sort. So it's like a lot of differences. But I also feel like with Ariella, which is my second pregnancy, I felt like I also had some slight differences, but I was like, actually, I think I was nauseous longer with Ariella, I think, than I was with Allie. So I know that every pregnancy is different and that there's still a chance that this baby is a little girl, even though everyone and their mom is like, oh my God, you're not having morning sickness, you're not eating sweets, you're eating vegetables, and you're craving like steak and like meats. Like, I don't even eat steak, and I've been craving steak, you know, or just meats in general, which is not common for me. And if I do eat sweets, it would make me nauseous. And just up until recently, I have been able to actually consume a candy bar here and there without feeling extremely nauseous, because before it was so bad. It was like I could eat the littlest piece of chocolate and almost immediately like feeling nauseous, sick to the stomach, like I had to vomit. And 90% of the time I ended up doing just that. So I just decided to avoid sweets altogether. So there are lots of differences in this pregnancy altogether. I'm just hungrier more. I feel like this baby's a lot lower than my girls. I feel like with my daughters, they were a higher up, and I could feel them moving more. With this baby, when I feel like the kicks, it's really, really low in comparison to my other pregnancies, which is different for me. And sometimes it's hard for me to like decide whether it's like actually the baby, or is it just like hunger pains, or is it like gas or something. Like, is it actually the baby? So I feel like there's still a lot of uncertainty, and with the baby still being pretty much small, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. So I think I mentioned before that we are not going to find out the gender until the baby shower, even though so many of my coworkers, my family members, and everyone are like not against it, but they're not loving that idea. They're like, how are we going to buy you gifts? How are we going to get you anything for the baby if we don't know the gender? And I'm just like, just think grays, whites, neutrals. And they're just like, okay, fine. But you know, they would love to, like, if it's a girl, like buy little cute dresses. If it's a boy, buy him little like cute outfits, especially since it would be my first. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like my life right now is not simple. It's insane. But I still like the simplicity of it all, of, you know, of my life. Like, my life is crazy, hectic, busy, but it's still simple at the same time. Like, everything's at a constant flow. So it's not like a bunch of crazy stuff is like happening, thank God. And I feel like with this pregnancy, it's been healthy and just simple and calm for the most part. I don't want to jinx myself, but you know, minus like my random back pains and things like that. So I personally feel like I just feel chilled this pregnancy. Like, I do have my fears here and there, like, is the baby okay? Is the baby healthy? I'm not feeling as many kicks. Like, come on baby, like kick, you know, normal pregnant mom thoughts. But other than those thoughts, I feel like this pregnancy is very simple, not stressful, and I'm overall like trying to enjoy it. And it's going by super fast, because on Monday I will be 19 weeks, and then on Wednesday I get an ultrasound and we get to see the baby again, and I'm crossing my fingers that the anatomy scan goes great. So far, the screening came back for my sequential, and the baby is negative for any abnormalities, which makes me extremely happy. So it's like this anatomy scan, it's like that last hoorah, well, not necessarily, but still, it's like that last like thing that kind of like wipes away any like fears of like crazy things just happening, or whatever the case may be, you know. So I mean, I've already had up to now 3-4 ultrasounds, I think. So all of the ultrasounds have shown that everything's okay, but the anatomy scan is like the big bang. It's like they are looking at everything. It's going to be a little bit over an hour long, I think, my doctor said. So it's going to be a nice long ultrasound, but I'm planning on eating something either really cold or something a little sweet before I go, to wake up the baby, in the hopes that the baby won't be asleep for it. Because I think my last ultrasound, the baby was just like sleep, like just sleep. And the technician was trying to like wake the baby up, like, you know, turn to the left, turn to the right, you know, fake cough, like trying to make me do all these things to get like a great measurement. And the baby would just like, just like move its little hand or something, and just like drift back off, like, yeah, whatever. Which is no surprise, because my fiance is exactly the same way. But yeah, so we were really, really excited just to see the baby overall. So I don't know. I just don't have a preference. I feel like I'll be happy with either one. I feel like my fiance pretty much feels the same, but at the same time I think he would like a boy. I'm just saying. So I just wanted this to be like a video where I just kind of like discuss my thoughts, kind of look back on, you know, what I think. Oh, I didn't say like what I think the baby might be. I don't have any feelings. Like the other night I had a dream that the baby was a girl. The nurse came into the room and the baby had like the little newborn baby hat with the bow on it that you get at the hospital, and the nurse took it off the baby's head and just put like a regular one on its head, and because she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you didn't want to know. And I'm like, okay, like this is my dream. I didn't really respond to it. So I'm sitting there with this baby, and when she took off the baby's hat, it had like little curls and really light brown hair, kind of like Alessandra did when she was born. And then I remember getting up in my dream and then handing the baby to my fiance and seeing him hold the baby and kind of like kiss and cuddle it and thinking like, oh, this moment is so great. So now it's like, even my dream was weird. Like even my dreams are unsure of what gender this baby is. I know for Alessandra, I dreamt that she was a girl, and I dreamt that she was a boy. With Ariella, I dreamt that she was a girl and she was a girl. So for this one, I dreamt the baby was a girl, but then a nurse came in, took the hats off, switched it to the other boring hospital hat that they usually use for boys, which is a terrible word to say. Boring hat for boys. You know, the hat without the bow for the boys. And then she's like, oh, I forgot you don't want to know. I'm just like, all right, so dream dictionary, is this a girl or a boy? It's like, I don't know, but regardless, I'm gonna be excited and happy, and all I want, as my husband said, I'm already calling him my husband, we don't get married till next month, but as my fiance said, a happy, healthy baby. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!